Sabino, Sairam,
Sairam.
you are online, and please, can you share your experience about Swami, how you knew about Swami, how you came to Swami, how it happens?
It happened 30 years ago.
30?
Yes. At the time, I used to live in Italy, and I used to work in the morning, and I used to do some seva in the evening for children. And but usually stuff. And one night, once we finished to work with the children, there were because we were many educators there to basically to teach those children. And once we finished, there was this small group of Italian people, and they were talking among each other. And then I saw this book, and on the cover there was a Baba's picture. And I asked, who was the guy? And they told me in a very simple way, oh, his name is Sai Baba, is a god in a physical form.
Oh, wait, and you teach like doctor children?
No. I used to work in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And in the evening, you do like a seva work, like a, voluntary work.
I understand.
It's like, you can, I used to do seva since I was actually really young in my own town. So, helping helpline, people with addiction, elders and children with very complicated family. That kind of seva was basically, we used to collect children from the street, which they didn't really have a great family. And there was like a foundation. So we used to collect them and then start to teach them how to speak a proper Italian, kind of educate them, because the family didn't really have opportunity, time, or chance, because some of those children, the parents were in prison, or they were very complicated, dysfunctional family. So I used to,
yes,
yeah.
I will
So
translate.
we used to basically, we were a group of teachers. I was the head of those teachers, and me and at the time my ex-girlfriend, we were basically running the place. So basically they told me then that was
Sai Baba.
Sai Baba, he was God in a physical form. And I thought it was cool. So that was April 1994. Just 1 month later, I was in India. Time to basically to get the ticket and the passport, and then decide basically to go and experience these things. At the time, Baba was in Whitefield.
At Whitefield.
And I arrived, and the first darshan I remember, I remember the Baba was actually in yellow, completely yellow. I think it was some Krishna festival. And I remember, look, this small man, and I didn't really feel anything, but I thought, oh my God, in this small being, there is everything. There is God, So even I did not feel anything, but still something, inside said, this is it. This is the last station. That's what you're looking for. And from that point, it started my journey, and start to go to the. I didn't really know much about it, because I didn't really read the books, so I just knew that this guy was God. And then I was actually amazed there were so many people from all over the world. I remember the first things that got my attention actually was the symbol of the Sarvadharma. And I thought it was a really cool symbol, because I was born in Italy. I come from Catholic. I've always believed in God since I was young age, and Jesus, but I wasn't really following the institution, the church and stuff like that. So the Sarvadharma, which once they explained to me the meaning, I thought it was amazing because there was one God and all these masters. So that was actually the first things that got my attention more than anything else. Then I started to spend time in the ashram, and the light is back. Hopefully the internet as well, we'll see. Anyway, so I was yes, I started basically, at the time I did not speak English because I used to live in Italy. So I was always trying to meet people and try to, understand what's going on, because I didn't really know anything. So, I used to mostly were people from Spain or Argentina because the Spanish was very similar to our languages. So time passed by, start to understand, and then it start this kind of, I guess, connection or relationship between me and Baba. Even at the time, I didn't really understand much, but most of the time, he used to come during the night in the dreams, and then somehow start to teach me things, communicate, and all those things. But at the time, I didn't really know much. I thought that dream were when you see something and then you dream about it, and then explain to me. Then when Baba comes, it's not just a dream because he decide to come for whatever is the reason. So after my time at the time in Whitefield, I supposed to be there for 6 weeks. So after a few weeks, I remember then we been called for the interview. And that was my first time. Then actually, I didn't even know what the interview was really. And then someone explained to me that Baba comes to the darshan and then he goes among people and then he picks some people for the interview. And so I was one of them.
And how was your first interview?
Well, I'm cutting short now because it was it was a little bit spicy, let's say, because I remember then before the interview, when you go in a place like Puttaparthi or Whitefield, and then there is a master which is supposed to be God. So in your mind, believe that every single person there are good people, are all saints, all angels, and everybody follow the rules, everybody's kind, stuff like that. It was not like that. I was always angry. And because I can actually see people jump the queue, don't follow the rules, you have to line up to pick the number. And then I found that there was a VIP things. So, and then at one point I started to think, if this guy is God, why are we all the same? Why there are so many different distinction, or people try to cheat, to get up, or use the power because they were rich, I don't know, or they knew somebody. And of course, because somehow I knew Baba was God, I was angry with him because in my mind, he was allowed to people to do whatever they want. You could actually say, no, we don't do this here. So most of the time I was angry with Baba. And when he called and we have, when you got interviewed, Baba let everybody in the room first, and he's always the last one to step in. And everybody start to run to sit close to Baba's chair, but I didn't. So I stayed very far. I sat down in the middle, then I could see Baba's chair, but I wasn't very close because I was very scared. And because I knew Baba was God, I knew he knew, then I was very naughty. And then I thought, oh my God, it's gonna give me so much shit now. And which I deserve it. But the idea there were other people there, they have to see, I didn't really like it. So I said, oh my God, please make sure don't do this in front of everybody. So I sat down, Baba entered the room, he went to sit, and everybody were around him. But then Baba asked them basically to make room, to open up, and then he looked at me and said, you come and sit here next to him. And I said, no, thank you, I'm fine here. And he said, no, come here close to me. And I said, no, thank you, I'm fine. I can see you, I can hear you, so don't worry about it. I'm okay. And there were other people there. And then they say, oh, you can't say that to Swami. Papa asking you to say. I said, but I'm fine here. Why? I have to go there. And then Baba kept calling me. And then eventually I just went to sit next to him. I went sit next to him, and then he looked at me, and then he said, "You always angry." And of course, at the time there was someone in interview to translate because I didn't speak English. And then I said, "Yeah, of course, because you don't know what's going on outside. There's all many unfair things." And he looked at me, he smiled, and then he did this. And I said, oh, you're very funny. But he didn't say it in English. He did not say it in Italian. He actually said it in my own language, in my own dialect from south of Italy. So, and that was actually one thing that took my attention, because he knew my own dialect, not even Italian, but the dialect from my own town. And then at one point, Baba started to talk with everybody, other people in the room. And then he started to rotate his hand, and he actually made a ring which I left actually in my room, but I might be able to show you the picture. I don't know if you manage to see. You see the silver ring?
Yes, what Shirdi, yes.
Yes, he made this one. But when he made it, it wasn't like this. It was actually with a cross. And then he showed the ring, and then he said, would you like a cross or would you like God? And then, people, oh, we like God, we like God. But actually, I like the cross because the ring was really beautiful. And then, so he looked at me, and then it's like, look what I'm going to do now. And he blew it on the ring, and the ring started to change. And basically, it became like a liquid, the silver liquid. And he started to play with the liquid, but no dropping, just play with it like this. And then look at me like, see what I can do, And I was just very close because I was just next to him. And then the ring changed, and he came with Shirdi. And then he gave the ring to a guy next to him, in front of him. And then he was keep talking with other people. There was an Indian couple, so he made another a watch for the husband and a big necklace with stones to the Indian lady. And I remember that every time Baba was manifested something, everybody were, oh. And I could not really understand, because I said, why they are all so surprised? He's God, he can do that. If I do that, you do all. But he's God, so it's easy for him.
Yeah.
So because, inside of me, I already knew he was a divine being. So of course he knew my own language. He knew everything because he's God. God knows everything. So I couldn't really I was more surprised about people than actually Baba. And so Baba, at one point, he took the ring from this guy and he gave to someone else. And of course, the guy, I saw the guy face, he seemed very upset. And then I thought, why is he doing this? It's not nice because he gave to the guy, now he took it off. And every time I was just thinking, oh, he's doing something that's not nice. Baba used to look at me, turn and look at me, but and then I thought, oh my God, he's actually enjoying it. And then he was keeping talking with other people. And then he took the ring again from the other person and gave to someone else. And another person was upset. And every time I thought, oh my God, this is really bad because this guy is mean. And every time I was thinking, he was looking at me and he said, I said, oh my God, this is crazy. So after all this drama, I was really upset. Then Baba looked at me and then he called for a private interview. So we went in another room and then was like, imagine two old friends which they meet again after many years. Two old friends, they meet again and they start to share the life and the story they went through it. That was the feeling. The only difference was then he was talking, I was listening because I didn't really know what to say. Before actually we stepped in a private room, Baba took the ring again from the guy and he put it in my hands. So he gave it to me. But then I thought, oh, because I didn't really know what was about. I didn't know that Baba could do all those things. So, and I didn't really care. So, okay. He put the ring there and then he's going to take it back anyway. So don't pay attention. Then Baba started to talk from basically from the time that I was born up to then, all my childhood, what I did. But it wasn't really in details, he mentioned things when I was really young, when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I even forgot. So everything was in details, all the situation in my childhood, in my family, the school, the job, the lovers, everything step by step, like it actually was there physically. And I didn't even know him yet. And then, in very loving and peaceful way, as just the master can do, he said, I know everything because I'm God. So but it wasn't really with arrogance, with the ego. It was just like, don't worry about it because of course I know I'm God. I'm everywhere, every time. There is no place, no space that I'm not there. And then he said, don't get fooled about this. I just need to take a body as a human to be able to communicate. But eventually, I will leave this body because I will still be everywhere. He said, remember one thing, between you and me, there are no difference. I'm God and you are God. The only difference, I'm 24 hours aware than I am. You still don't believe it. Once you surrender completely your mind, your body, your soul, your heart, to me, we become one. You become divine too. It was still, this kind of conversation. And then he said, if you surrender completely to me, I become your slave. You think, yeah, right, God then becomes your slave. But it's what Baba meant when he talks about the surrendered prayer, So if you, of course, it does not happen in one night. You know, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes many years, because bit by bit, you start to let it go, to trust this master. You know, if you are 100% convinced, then it's actually a divine being. Only that it works. So you must believe it, not here, but here. You know, then is the one, and you. It's like, you know, a child that put his life in his mother's hands. The child never worries. He doesn't know what is a worry, because he trusts the mother, the love of the mother. So but for us, it's a bit difficult because we are, you know, adults, and then it takes time for us to let it go, especially to follow the rules of God, which are not easy. After this, you know, he said, you don't worry about anything, just, you know. And then, of course, we spoke about my future and things that at the time I didn't really understand. And but they start to unfold time by time through time. That was basically the interview. Then it finished. You know, I went out, and after, you know, a week or so, I can't remember. I remember it was the last day, and during the darshan, Baba came and he said, "When are you leaving?" And I said, "Today." And then he said, "I will see you soon." And then I thought, yeah, you wish. So I'm going back. I don't know when I come back again, if I come back again, if I have the money. So I left. I went back in Italy. And 1 week later, maybe 8 days, 9 days top, I was again in India. So what happened was, then I was back in Italy, in the south of Italy, and then a friend of mine, he found out. Then I went to Puttaparthi, to Whitefield, to India, and he came to ask, so how is the experience with Baba and blah 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 blah. And then I told him, actually, it was really, really, really good. I think, you know, if you have an opportunity, go and experience. And then he said, oh yeah, but I want to go with you. And then I said, I can't, because he said, look, I'm still having my luggage here, I'm packed, I just arrived, so I can't. And then he left. So he came back the day after with 2 tickets, plane ticket, one for him and one for me. And then he said, I got the ticket, and now you must come. And then I told him, I don't have the money. I don't know when I can pay you. He said, don't worry, it's a gift, but you must come. I don't want to go, and you must come with me. I said, okay. So I didn't pack. We left again. And then, so we supposed to be in India for 22 days. But when we back in India, Baba was not in Whitefield, he was in Puttaparthi. So we traveled to Puttaparthi, we got the accommodation, and then when Puttaparthi wasn't like you guys know Puttaparthi now. At the time, there was nothing. There was no mandir. There was just the bhajan rooms and the sand. There was nothing, you know, a few accommodations. So we went back there. We started basically to go to the darshan, and then this new chapter start. And then 3 days before my leaving, Baba came at the darshan and he asked, when are you leaving? And then I say, in 3 days. And then he said, don't go, stay. And I say, I can't. And then he said, why not? And I say, I don't have the money. I said, my friend paid everything. So I can't stay. So I have to leave. And I said, that is not your problem. That is my problem. You stay. I fix everything. And I said, okay. I say, okay. So I went in the room because my friend that day, he didn't come to the darshan. And I said, look, Pierpaolo, I'm not leaving because Baba asked me to stay. And then he said, what are you going to do? You don't have the money. I said, I know, but he said, it's his problem. So we'll see. So my friend left and I stayed another 3.5 months. And it actually he did, because every time I was running out with money, people used to come to me and they say, are you Sabina? I say, yes. 1,000 rupees. Are you Sabino? Yes. 2,000 rupees. People used to come, people that I did not know, they used to come and just give me the money every time. And then when the money were almost finished, someone else would come. And that's the way I spent another 3.5 months in India. No worry whatsoever. I was the happy person. And I remember there was a friend of mine, which he was there. And at one point, I think he thought I was doing something dodgy, because he said, why people come and pay you? And, and then I said, I think because Baba said that he will look after me, and he tells them and then they come to me, but he thought I was actually selling something. That's where it went. And then 3.5 months just flew, and I was back in Italy, and back to my work, my life, my family. And then a few months later, Baba came one night, and then he said, you need to learn English. And then I said, okay, would you like me to go to English school? He said, no, no, London is a good place. And then I said, I go to the school in London? I said, it's very far. I said, no, you go and you live there. And, and then I said, what do you mean? I live here, I have a job. Yeah, you quit the job, leave everything, and you go there, you live there, you learn English. And then he said, no, at school, don't go to school. You get a job and you learn through life. And then I said, what are you talking about? I can't just leave. I said, what am I supposed to say? I have a job, I have a house, I have a car, I have a girlfriend, I have a life here, my family. And then he said, what family? I said, well, my brothers, my sister. I said, that is not family. That is a karma. I'm the family. You need to go. I said, okay. So I started basically with the job and everything. And then a few months later, I moved in London. And then from that point, it took me, after 4 years, because I need to learn English, because they say you need to learn English because there is a lot of work to do. Therefore, you need to learn this English. So after 4 years, I was back again from 1994, 1995 to 1998. I went back to India. At the time, my English, improved, and my life changed completely. And then, I started a new journey. And then my new life changed, going to a new country, new language. And so the point of this story is that, once you have the master and you trust the master, you need to move on about everything. Because when the master tells you what to do, you can't really say, oh no, because of this, or no, because of my family, or no, you don't even ask a question, you just do, So I guess in my case, I was blessed, because it was so strong, my connection with God, and because you see, I always believed in God. It's not like I didn't believe in God, then I met Baba, oh my God, God exists. You know what I mean? I always had this thing since I was actually very young. At one point, I just put the face to God. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And of course, one thing then you learn is then the first relationship then you start is not even with God, it's with yourself. Because if you trust yourself, you trust the divine within us, and then you follow that things. You see, at the time, of course, I could not tell my family, oh, I'm going to London because Baba says so. So they would not understand. They couldn't understand because they're Catholic. So at the time I told them, then I just want to change life. I was fed up. But eventually after I told them the truth, because you see, when the only way to start, imagine, when you start a relationship with someone, anyone, could be a friend, could be a lover, one thing that makes the relationship works, what is it?
Trust. Truth.
Trust, the truth, the respect, the compassion, the understanding, the empathy. Now you need to do this first with yourself. Because in the interview, he said, I'm God, you are God. I'm aware, you are not aware. So you need to start to believe then, because his first name is Satya, the truth. So he could not lie to me. So the first job then you do is to connect with that divine, and to do so, you have to be truthful. You have to be transparent. You don't have to put mask, not with anyone, not with your family, at work, with your lovers, with your friends, the society. So one by one, you have to take off everything and say, this is who I am. If you like me, you love me. If you don't, goodbye. But you are completely transparent like the water. Say you start this new journey. And of course, when you start to do this work and you start to be you, not many people likes it. Because usually most of the humans, what they do, they always do things to please, to make sure that everybody are happy. And also because they want everybody like them. It was different. I have to make sure that God was pleased about me, not my family, not my friends, not my lover. I have to tell the truth. If I speak my mind, if I have to be transparent to give opportunity, this is me. You take all the package with the light shadow and the dark shadow. That's all me. But if you have to love me, this is it. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to put any mask, because my only goal now became God, no one else. See, I give another example. Most of the people called Baba Swami. Swami means master. I never called Baba Swami, because if you do, for me, Swami was put Baba there and me here. When like you go to the school, you have the teacher on the big table and you, the students there, right?
Yes.
So because he said we are the same, so for me always was Baba, because it was my father, my mother, my lover, my friend. There I used to argue, saying, bad words, really bad words when I was angry, and then you make peace again. It always was this balance, equal relationship. There was never distance. So because he said that I'm God, okay, I need time, but we are equal. Just give me time to become you. See, because of this very intimate relationship, of course, you start to, your life starts to change, because you start to be you, and before Baba, I was always Sabino, yes. Sabino, can you do this? Yes. Sabino, can we do this? Yes. Do you like this? Yes. I always say yes to please everybody, to make sure everybody will happy. Start from my family, my friends, everybody, at work, because we all have this need to feel special. And then I just realized then I need to be special for God, for my family, for my if they like me, it's nice. But the most important was God, and it was a privilege. Then we all are. Then we actually met Him. Imagine 2,000 years ago when people met Jesus. But in 2023 years, many people, they just heard about Jesus. They never met. They read the book. So in time, we will be the disciple that they were with Jesus. We were with Baba. And that was every time in my mind, is that this is an opportunity. I cannot lose it because of my family, my friends, the society, the tradition. I didn't really care about anything else. Imagine, well, not imagine, actually, it's reality. Right now, on the planet, we are 8 billion human beings.
8?
Almost 8 billions. Now, it seems, but when I was in Puttaparthi, even when the mandir was full, I used to tell to my friends, it looks like we are so many, but if you compare this number here with all the human beings on the planet, we just a few, and we are in this few. So you see, the point is that, every time, especially I notice, for instance, since Baba left the body, the new soul arrived in Puttaparthi. Some of those people, they never met Baba, but they already have this big connection, especially the last generation. Really, I could see them in the Mandir or in Puttaparthi, the energy, the light in the eyes, and they never met him. And you could see people, they met Baba for 20, 30, 40 years, there is no light anymore. Why? Because people get used to, oh yeah, I'm going to see Baba. Like, you're going to see the baker or the postman. They didn't understand the blessing was then, but the same blessing is still now, because many people stupidly believe that, oh, well, you just arrived now. It was different at the time, when Baba was in the physical form. That is bullshit. Because it's not about to meet God in the physical form. It's about to meet God inside. Even their last generation, they arrived in Puttaparthi, they never met Baba. They saw Baba in the picture or in the video. But the connection is the same. Actually, sometimes it's even stronger. The old generation is like, the old generation of a Buddhist, the old generation of a Catholic, the old generation of Hindu, they go through all those, crap, bullshit, ego stuff. But if you have the connection, even if you found out about Baba last year through a picture, that is if you believe, then he's God, then you believe that even that picture is God, because it's created by God. So the darshan is there. It's up to you to connect. It doesn't matter, if you meet him physically. I met many people, they never went to Puttaparthi, but the connection they have is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because the divine is already there. They just don't know. So sometimes they need, the universe actually provides to send some guidance to show them is there, it's you. You just don't know. An example, many years ago, I met this French girl in Puttaparthi, and we were having lunch together. And then I asked her, how do you know Baba? She told me she was in France in a medical studio. She was waiting for a time to see the doctor. In the meantime, she was actually reading a magazine. And then at one point, she saw Baba's picture, like an article about Baba. She said at one point, the picture actually got alive. And the picture said, don't get scared, I'm Baba. My name is Baba. Come in India, I need to talk to you. So she came in Puttaparthi, and then after 2 weeks, she got an interview. That's the way she met Baba. And then, they had, their own things. So that is the example that you don't have to come in Puttaparthi, you don't have to meet in the physical form. As the moment you hear the name or you see the picture, that is your connection. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money, you stay in Russia or in Italy. You're already connected. This satsang now, this meeting, we are talking about God. We are all connected to it. Baba is only using me to make stronger your connection, your trust. I'm just like a messenger, like you are now to share in Russia to the other people. Is using you, is using me to connect, to unite. When I do here satsang every Sunday for the local, and because some people they know Baba, so they want to know my experience, but I told them invite everybody, even people they don't know Baba. This is God's home. It doesn't matter if it's Baba, if it's Jesus, if it's Buddha, if it's Muhammad. The door, it must be open to everybody, especially for people they don't know. Not about Baba, but they still don't know, or they don't know how to connect with God. Because that was Baba's teaching. Baba was just Baba. The ashram was open to everybody, Muslim, Hindu, Catholic, atheist. Everyone could get in and out. Everyone was allowed to experience and then connect with their own divine. The work of the avatar is to put people together. It was the same job that Jesus tried to do it, but humans failed. And then Buddha tried to do it, and humans failed. Gandhi tried to do it, and humans failed. Because that's what we do. We failed because we follow all the crap outside, the gossip outside, instead to stay inside and say, okay, are we all one? What is the point to have the Sarva Dharma? We are all one. And then we say, oh, but you cannot come. Oh no, you can't do that. Oh no, you can't do that. Where is the one? When I was in Puttaparthi, Victoria and Michael, they came home. Sometimes they used to bring other people, some Russians or people from Kazakhstan. And I remember, because I remember then, some of those people, they never met Baba. They were there, but only because they heard about it, they started the new journey. But I also remember sometimes you see through the face that those people sometimes are a little bit upset, or sad, because the old generation say, oh yes, nice now, but when Baba was here was different. When Baba was here was different. And so they make feel the newcomer smaller, like, oh, I missed an opportunity. But there is no such a things. You meet Baba when you're ready, and there is no difference between me, then I met Baba physically, and then I had an interview with you or anyone else. Because that is the point. If we are all connected, if we are all one, what difference makes if you, it doesn't make any difference. I never met Jesus, so I'm no good Christian. So no one met Jesus, not the Pope, no the priest, no one for 2023 years. Why the Pope is better than me? He never met Jesus. We don't know. So what difference makes if you met Baba or you didn't? The reason why I say this, don't let the old generation, the bigots, all these crap people put you down, make you feel small. We are all connected with God. A child which was born 10 years ago, he never met Baba. Baba left the body in 2012 years ago, but doesn't mean that that child does not belong to God. It's not God. It's not connect with God only because he came 10 years ago and not 50 years ago. So don't let anyone push you down your relationship with God. Start to build the trust that you are who you are because of God. You are the divine because of Him. And let all the people just don't listen. Then just let it be because it's ego. Because all those people, if those people understood Baba, they would not say such a things. So that is the proof they did not get it, who actually Baba was. Have any questions so far?
They send in many hearts. That this
They,
is yes,
oh,
they like your satsang.
okay, thank you.
Waiting for question, and I have a question for you. Can you tell that you totally surrendered to Swami?
No, not
No?
yet. I can say then I'm probably, to be honest, 95%.
That's good.
That is the truth. I'm 95. Sometimes I'm not surrendered, because if I was surrendered completely, I will not get mad, for instance, when I see something which is unjust. So it still bothers me, irritates me very much. So that is the sign I'm okay with everything, really with everything. But every time I see something unjust, one person to another, or when people are hypocrites, they say one thing, but they lie, they don't do other things. Those things still bothers me. So that is the comparing, then I'm not able to surrender completely, because I'm still in a human body, so I'm still affected by it. And when I get really, really mad, but really mad with Baba, of course, because he's the one that I blame, he comes and say, rise above, rise above, let it go, let it go. So, but I didn't yet. So it still bothers me. So no, I'm not surrendered yet. No, 100%.
And how will you suggest us to surrender? How to find this
It's very. I tell you my way, David. You know the surrender prayer of Baba.
surrender pray?
Yeah, you know.
Bhajans, you mean?
No. There is a prayer called the surrender.
Mhm.
If you ask Victoria, she probably knows. You ever been in Puttaparthi?
Yes, of course.
So do you remember when you go to the canteen, is outside the canteen, there is actually all the surrender prayer. I show you how I did it when I met Baba. Look, I show you. Okay. See the prayer here. Okay?
I get.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I read the first sentence. I
Mhm.
didn't read all at once. There was no point. I read the first sentence and then I said, okay, Sabino, are you in it or you still not done? I'm not done. So I didn't read the rest. I work in that sentence. When the sentence was within me, I go to the next one.
Wow.
Because you see, what people do, they go there, they read all of it, they say,
Yes.
oh my God, it's true, it's true. But then after 1 week, they forgot. Like, when you go to school, you do the primary school first. When you actually done, you do the exam, then you go to the secondary school, and then to the college, and then to the uni. You don't jump from one part to another until you get the lesson about the school, understanding the math, the history, the language, and everything, geography, science. When you done and you do the exam and then you pass the exam, then say, okay, you're ready for the next one. The surrender pray with God is a very slow work. So you read the first sentence, why are you agitated, blah, 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 blah. So you ask yourself, do I worry? Yes, that is the problem, because that means you don't trust him. You know,
Yes.
if a mother has a child, the child is 1, 2 years old, you see all the children, they always look happy. Why?
They trust.
Because they don't have worry. They don't know about trust. They have no idea what trust is, but they don't have worry. They don't have fear. They don't have a problem. And they rely because they know the mother and the father is there. They know. They have this love, this trust in the mother. They don't know they have it, but they do. And they don't have worries. That's why children, they're all happy.
Thank you.
Again, trust, if you trust the divine with you, then you are doing good. Just, especially, maybe your culture, because Italian culture is similar, enjoy, enjoy your life. Don't think, oh, should I do that? Would Baba like this? Will Baba want me to do this? This is all crap. Baba always say, I give you all this. Enjoy it. As long you are in the truth, you are in the Dharma, you don't hurt yourself, you don't hurt anyone, another human, another life, any life, human life, animal's life, you don't destroy the nature, you don't waste water, you don't waste energy, take care about the planet. The planet is our home. If we put rubbish there, if we waste energy, if we kill an animal, and this is our home. We destroy something. Enjoy everything. Don't have many rules. Enjoy, because what Baba said, just be happy. Don't give a shit. Enjoy everything and make sure that whatever you do, it helps you to get better.
How to deserve the love of God?
How to what?
How to deserve?
To deserve.
Yes.
What do you think?
It's not my question. I
I
wouldn't
know.
answer.
Okay, but I'm asking you, if I
Mhm.
ask you the same question, what would you tell me?
I will tell you, don't need to deserve, because God is already love you. You are God.
Exactly. But if you want to make this connection strong, seva, help. That is the best act of love that you can give to God, to make sure that God always loves you. Seva, service.
Mhm.
But not always. Seva doesn't mean always then you have to, you have to help the poor or cook or give. Seva is also if there is someone which is in pain and you go there and you hug and this, I'm here. You donate a smile. You are not alone. I have nothing to give, but I'm here. You are not alone in this pain, in this suffering, in this loss. God in that moment loves you dearly because you are taking care another divine being, which is God. God is love. That's what love gives love. Love gives love. Love gives love. That's what we know. Violence invites violence, but love invites love. Peace invites peace. That's the way we do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I wanted to ask you, was talking about this truth, yes?
Yes.
To know that this is me and this is my truth. But there is some thing that Swami told us to be good. That we have to be good. We have to talk nicely with every person. We have to be very good with everyone. But it is not about my truth. Sometimes, yes, if I feel not good now, for example, if I feel my dark side and it is coming out, for example, and I feel that this person is not good now and I want to say it, I couldn't be good. For sometimes I couldn't be good, and this is my truth. So what is the right point?
I give an example. When I used to live in London, I used to be general manager in an English pub. And I used to run with 40 people. They have to work for me, and then customers, and then the owner. So a lot of responsibility. And sometimes the stress was up to here, and sometimes I lost the temper. So I used to scream at staff, tell them you're incapable, blah, 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 blah. There was my dark side coming out, really angry.
Mm-hmm.
But once I cool down, I get aware that my dark side got basically stronger. Then later on, I go to the person, and then I say, I apologize. I'm sorry. It's okay to take it out as long you recognize, you are aware of it, and you are humble to go back and say, I'm sorry, I just lost it. It's okay. It's better to lose it and then apologize because you recognize, and not to repress because we all want to look like angels. That is bullshit. We need to learn until basically you don't explode anymore, because you say, okay, it took me years to be cool, not fake, but face it, because Baba said, remember, it's a movie. It's not real. It has to happen because it trains you. So as long, of course, if you know you are right, but you explode, you are too aggressive, and then when you are too aggressive, we can become even verbally violent. So, but if you humble, is to recognize, to be aware that you lost it, you go back to the person and you say, I'm sorry. I just lost it because I was stressed. I was weak. I was frustrated. And I'm here to apologize. And let's hope next time we both do better. But that is the truth. But if you are mad, but you say, and you keep inside, that's not true. Because maybe the other person doesn't know, but God knows everything. The divine within you knows everything. Make sense?
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you, Sabina.
You're welcome. My pleasure. It's all
Thank you.
Bhagavan's given.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. It was
You're
very
welcome.
useful. Thank you.
You're welcome.